Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my October and November to be read pile. To kick things off, I have two Doctor Who books I will be reading, and this will actually complete the 50th anniversary set that I have, which I'm kind of upset about. I have been reading one Doctor Who book a month since January, so I'm going to be a little sad when I'm finally done with all of these books. And the first one I'll be reading is Beautiful Chaos by Gary Russell, and this stars the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant, who is my favorite Doctor. And then this book is The Silent Stars Go By Dan Abnett, and this stars the 11th Doctor. I'm really hoping they kind of continue some of the books in this fashion. The books all have the Doctor on the side, if you can see that. And so I'm kind of hoping that they come out with one for Peter Capaldi. That would be really neat. And then that way I have one with him on the side in this same sort of style. Next, I'm going to be reading some graphic novels that I'm pretty excited to get into. And they all happen to be Marvel graphic novels that star Loki from Thor. I'm not a Loki fangirl. The first book that I have is Journey into Mystery by Kieran Gillen, and then that's volume 1, and then I also have volume 2, which is also called the same thing and by the same author. And these are supposed to be about Loki as like a kid or a teenager. That's kind of the big draw that drew me into these, and the artwork inside looks pretty cool, and I'm pretty interested in what the story is like. And then the next comic that kind of goes after those is this one called Key Agent of Asgard. Trust me, volume 1 for this one as well. And this one is written by Al Ewing. I just love this cover, it's so cool. This is supposed to be Loki. He's aged up from these other graphic novels, and he's more like a young man in these. And this is supposed to be the series that they've based Loki more off of Tom Hiddleston's portrayal, I think. And they also play around with Loki's, the way they worded it was bisexuality and his ability to gender swap. So I think that'd be pretty cool to see in this and interesting. So those are 5 books that I do downright plan on reading. So I'm going to pick out 5 books now from my TBR box. Ooh! So glad I picked this. It is The Little House by Philippa Gregory. You guys know how much I adore Philippa Gregory. And this is actually not a piece of historical fiction. I think this book was wrote in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, so this is more of a contemporary sort of book. And it's about a woman named Ruth who gets married, but her mother-in-law is very just wacko. And there is a mini-series for this starring Lucy Griffiths, and I really liked the mini-series, and that's why I decided to get this book. Pick number 2. I'm always worried, this thing is so full. It's not a very big box. I'm always worried I'm gonna accidentally throw a bunch on the floor or something. Ah! The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I am so freaking excited to read this. I absolutely adore the movie. And I've been dying to read this book for years now. And I got this just beautiful edition. It's a hardback. It was like $25, but I think that was a well-spent $25 because this is a beautiful edition. Like I said, it's hardback. And there's also just beautiful images in here. Let me see if I can find one. Just a random one I came to. So yay! If you can't tell, I'm freaking excited. Do I even need to explain what this book is about? I'm not even going to bother explaining. You've either seen the movie or you haven't. It's a cult classic. Pick number 3. I got a piece of non-fiction here. I have Lucrezia Borgia by Sarah Bradford, and like I just said, this is non-fiction. I'm a huge fan of the Borgias. They were a Renaissance family. Her father was Pope Alexander VI. Did anyone else watch the Showtime series, The Borgias? I love that show. I'm so upset it only had 3 seasons. But yeah, pretty excited to read this. Pick number 4. If I can get it to open, it's glued together. The next book that I picked out is actually a book that belongs to my dad, I think. And it's called The Last Templar by Raymond. I'm not quite positive what this book is even about. It's kind of like one of those mystery thriller sort of books, like with a historical kind of context to it. You know, kind of like Dan Brown's Robert Langdon books. Here, let me just read a quick few lines about what it's about. In present-day Manhattan, 4 masked horsemen dressed as Templar knights emerge from Central Park and ride up the Fifth Avenue steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art during the black tie opening of a Treasures of the Vatican exhibit. And it looks like there's a female protagonist in this. A lot of these books tend to have male protagonists, so it sounds pretty interesting. I was just going through a bunch of my mom and dad's books one day, and I kind of just went through them and was trying to decide which ones looked interesting, and I just added a bunch to my TBR box. So yeah, I'll see if this is good. And the last book I'm gonna pick out. I'm sad that I'm at the end. I have The House of Silk by Anthony Horowitz. And this is supposed to be a Sherlock Holmes story. And apparently it was approved by the Arthur Conan Doyle estate. I think it's supposed to be that this book can be taken as part of the Sherlock Holmes canon. I have read the complete Sherlock Holmes. I'm very interested to see how this compares to Arthur Conan Doyle's original stories. If it's sort of the same, or if this might actually be more interesting and up my alley, because sometimes I had issues with Arthur Conan Doyle's writing. Sometimes I was bored. But yeah, pretty happy I picked this. God, those are all short books. I was kind of hoping I would pick one of my, like, 800 plus pages books. So have you guys read any of these books that I talked about? Do you plan on reading any of them? Just let me know in the comments below. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.